Hello, friends. Today we're going to be doing the planner spread of the movie Pride and Prejudice. It is one of my favorites. The novel, Jane Austen wrote it, and she wrote it in 1813. And I think she's a wonderful storyteller. I had seen other movies that were based on Jane Austen novels, like Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow and Sense and Sensibility with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet. And I really enjoyed those movies as well. I am more familiar with the movie from the 2005 film with Keira Knightley. Then later, I found out that there was a BBC miniseries that had 6 episodes that was made in 1995 and with Jennifer L. and Colin Firth. And I got so excited I had to watch that too. In between watching both of those movies, I actually read the novel, and I was excited with the miniseries because, well, it's longer, so I had more information. The story is about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy and the ins and out of falling in love in the late 1700s, early 1800s. Now, with Elizabeth Bennet's family, their situation's a little bit different. Their estate, they will not inherit anything the way it's set up with their family situation. It goes to the next male heir, which their family did not have any sons, so that means that it's going to go to her cousin on her father's side. And so the story is, the mother's whole desire is to make sure all of her daughters, or at least one of them, gets a good match so they won't be destitute when the father dies. It seems like quite a predicament to be put in. You have to make sure you love for money and not just and comfort, not just for love. But Elizabeth and her sister Jane, they both decide that no matter what, they're going to marry for love, that they're not going to let finances dictate who they marry. Elizabeth Bennet gets proposed to a couple of times, and she turns them both down. And her father backs her up, which does mean, though, that it's still the possibility that they could be turned away. I have to say, though, her proposals aren't very good. I, you know, I don't know if you'd be so excited to receive either of her proposals that she receives. Now, this is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, the film, and then this is the mini-series that I've watched. So along the way, as the story goes, she meets him in a ball, which is where you would meet a lot of people that time period, either at balls or parties or social gatherings. And in the movie version, Mr. Darcy does not dance with anyone, and she felt that was rather rude of him. Plus, she overhears him making a comment that offended her, and she even has I wrote down the quote, "I could easily forgive his pride if he had not mortified mine." I thought, oh, that's a good one. And so then later, after this situation occurs, then later they meet a Mr. Wickham. He's a soldier. Once the soldiers come to town, they meet them, and Lizzie, or Elizabeth, starts falling for him, and but he knows Mr. Darcy. And when they come upon him, Mr. Darcy is rather rude to Mr. Wickham, so Elizabeth wants to find out kind of why. And Mr. Wickham, which we later find out in the story, he lies. He doesn't tell her the truth. Let's do another washi tape. And so it just gives her more reason not to like Mr. Darcy. I always think of this as being part of the Victorian time period, but it is actually the Regency time period. So, have you seen the movie, the TV series, or read the book? And if so, which one are you a fan mostly of? So let's see, what's another quote that I have? It says, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a good wife." And that just seems to be the motto of the day. So what is your favorite movies? What is it you enjoy watching? What genre? My husband painted some flowers, and so I scanned them off and made them into stickers. I'm not much of an artist. I don't do very well. I can always tell a movie is going to be one of my favorites if I'm willing to watch it over and over again. The sad thing is my husband, once he's seen a movie once, he's good. He doesn't need to watch it again. But I just don't understand people like that. I have to watch a movie over and over. But that's how my family was. We had a movie collection we'd watch over and over again. I have a few more boxes I can put in here. Ah, that fell out. Accidents, accidents. Safety first. I made a book sticker that has all of her books that I'm familiar with is Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, Mansfield Park, Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and Northanger Abbey. Let's put some dots down. So, if you're a Jane Austen fan, which is your favorite story? There's another quote that I got. It says, "I love you most ardently." And here's another quote. It says, this was from the parents. It says, "Mr. Bennet, you take delight in vexing me. You've no compassion for my poor nerves." The mother's a funny character. She's very, very concerned with making sure her daughters get married because, like I said, if she doesn't, and if her husband should pass away, they will lose the house, they lose everything. So that is the main priority in her life, which really can't blame her. And then I have another one that says, "My good opinion once lost is lost forever." And that's from Mr. Bennet. It seems like it would be a very nice time to live in, very romantic. You spend your time reading books, writing books, or music, art, sewing. But when you think about the period too, um, your life depended on your match. If she didn't find a good match, you know, her wealth would be gone. Well, I believe that's all I have room for. And it looks like I did all my stickers as well. Well, thank you very much for joining me. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe.